Yeah, that's odd to hear Owlhead. I didn't know what she meant, but it's Firestone Ridge. That's what it used to be called. Do you
Bear, do you make me sneeze?
what businesses and organizations since '67 can you recall? Like any new businesses that have come into town?
TNT.
Okay.
Yeah. Bobby Dobson's.
We have that.
Yep.
It was first was Klein.
Alan Klein.
Yeah. And I think a little bit.
Well, Mrs. Bub's shop.
Huh?
Mrs. Bub's shop was during
Yeah.
that time, and Mark Bub's shop. And Rick Coons had the trophy business in there.
Yeah.
Okay, now, we gotta think of more than that though, Joe.
Oh, Ralph Goodling had a body shop.
We have that, I think.
That was where the fire company is now.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, well, prior to that, I think he was up there where Bobby Erb had too.
Yeah, I think he started up there.
I think
didn't
there's
he?
where he started.
And then went down.
What did you do for fun when you were younger around this area?
He told you to begin
Boy
with.
Scouts.
Good or bad?
I said Boy Scouts. We had a big Boy Scout troop.
What was the number of that?
27.
27, Troop 27. Do you know when that started?
No. I mean,
Well, that was active while my dad was here. And your
12.
dad, I'm sure they
12.
were in the Boy Scouts.
He never.
well, I'd have been 12
Oh,
when
yeah.
I joined it.
Well, I know my dad was scoutmaster or
29
had
to
something to
12.
do with it. Might not have been when he was,
What
you know, younger, but
Sure it was. Then we had a large troop. John H. Hine, that was the scout leader.
Was there any Eagle Scouts in Troop 27?
I made Star Scout. And I don't think anybody else was higher than me.
Okay. So I know it disbanded and then they got another
Yeah.
number.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
there was
I
no
don't- I
Eagle
don't-
Scouts before that.
Huh?
No Eagle Scouts. Okay.
No, most of them went as far maybe as first class. And then they'd drop out.
So Tom Everly would have been the first Eagle Scout in McClure then.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't know if it was because of the different number of troops,
No.
but
No, there was none in
okay. In the McClure Plain Dealer, they had a section called Breezy Items. We're looking to add that to the book, just for stuff that's not totally factual, but it's. Do you have any stories of days gone by that nobody would know?
Oh, I don't know.
yeah, he's got them, but we just gotta get him, pull him out of his. Cause I know he stood and told me some things.
And them,
Well, what did you do
Are
for
you-
Halloween? You know, different holidays back then.
well, Halloween was celebrated at the school mainly because, you know, as far as parties or anything, but the kids would go around town soaping windows, ringing doorbells, sticking doorbells,
Soaping or waxing?
Huh?
Soaping or waxing?
soaping mostly.
Soaping, okay.
Yeah. And sticking doorbells. And occasionally somebody would take a milk bottle and fill it with water and slant it up against the door, ring the doorbell and run, and when they opened the door, the water would run in on the floor.
As far as caves and line kills on the ridges, do you recall any of that?
Yeah, there was a line killed there, right there at where Top Star is now. In fact, some of that's still there.
Right across the road.
And then there was one straight across from where Penrose Hockenbach lives. That one was more active than the one there. Well, after they put the road in, that one there, Top Star more or less.
You mean that was up on the ridge there?
Yeah,
You don't see any signs of that or
Oh,
remnants of
yeah,
it?
Yeah, you
the
do.
kill's
There's a little
still
bit.
there.
Huh?
The
Oh, yeah.
kill's still
Right along the
there,
road there,
so it is. It fell
Where-
in some,
right across from the Top Star.
so it did.
Oh, yeah, that one, but he's talking about at at Penrose Hawken
Well,
Brothers.
that's,
I don't know if there's that, I haven't been out on there for a long time.
that's
Well-
on the steep part of the ridge and there's nothing there that you can see, but it's almost impossible to scale that side of the ridge.
And
Well,
there
you
at,
can walk out along it.
this
There's
one,
a
this one
path
over
there.
here,
On the
you can
bottom.
see where
No,
they've taken limestone out.
Up and top.
Half to
So
three
you
quarters
can't-
of the way up.
Go up
Okay.
there.
So how did those lime kilns work?
What you'd done was they put coal in and then they'd put limestone in, and then more coal and more limestone, and they'd fill it up that way. And then that would, the coal would heat the limestone and it would break with the heat, and that's what formed, then that formed the lime. And Max Huffman, he burned it in his furnace.
Limestone.
Yeah, he'd go up in the ridge there and get limestone, bring it down and put it in his furnace. Kelly Rummick lived there, and Kelly said it used to crack like hell whenever these limestones would break.
Jeez.
Yeah, and your furnace, that would get you awake at night, huh?
And also, it was propane part in the furnace too.
Yeah, blow it apart.
Now, the hotel, I know where that's at, but was there a second hotel in
Or
McClure?
in the second hotel or the beer garden.
A beer garden?
That's what you'd say. It's not there anymore, it burned down.
Where was it at?
There were, where the trailer sits there, at the Bean Soup Grove, I don't know who lives in the trailer now. Kate Hackenberg.
Oh, okay.
Kate Hackenberg lived in the trailer at one time.
So that was a hotel there?
No, the beer garden. That was and that's the reason McClure went, dry.
Because of all the bars?
No, that one.
Just because of that one?
Down there at the hotel, they ran a decent place. That one up there, that one was a wild place. I can remember as a kid.
So that was called the beer garden?
Wow,
Or is that,
that's
Who-
what they,
Who had it, Joe?
Sam Brininger and Doris Baker.
Oh, okay, Doris Baker, because
That
He
was
owned the
his-
house
he
there.
owned that
Yeah,
area.
he lived
owned
in
the
the house at
in
the bottom.
corner.
And I can remember Ted Baker and Mary Jane
Yeah,
and
they
the
lived
boys
there.
living in there.
Yeah, they converted it into a house, and I don't know who lived there when it burnt down.
I don't remember
I
that.
believe it was one of the plumbers, but I won't say for sure.
so how many bars were in town?
Just that and then the hotel.
Okay.
That was the bad one, huh? Well, it was closer to the bean soup too.
Well,
When
I
they
don't
had
know
the
that,
beans
but I
there.
mean, Felkers and Middles were shown to a hotel often, you know, and they ran a pretty tight place. But that place up there, it was,
Well, now what years it was? You say it was when you were young.
yeah, I mean,
So what year was that?
whatever, what year did McClure go dry?
Before we were
It
born,
was
I
in the,
think.
Yeah.
I forget, it must have been, I don't believe it was open in the 40s.
It wasn't that when we were kids.
No.
No, I mean, I don't think.
Because the Baker boys lived in there. Ted Baker and Mary Jane
Yeah,
and the
they-
boys lived in there.
And, at that time, there was deposit on beer bottles. And kids, they would gather up beer bottles. Most of them, they'd take them there. So they would, it's easier to get in and out than down at the hotel.
So it was just a beer joint, but it wasn't a hotel.
No,
Was there a second one though? A second hotel?
not that I know of.
Okay. What kind of old stories or anything do you remember from the railroad?
Well, was it a shoulder that killed on the railroad? Do you have that?
Do you want to elaborate a little on that?
Well, they were drinking as far as that was, from what I've been told, and he was killed before he was put on the track, according to Charles Crick.
Oh, I remember that.
And
What was his name?
he would have been a brother of Clay Shelver.
Oh, okay.
And Charles Crick said he was killed before he was put on the track because he was there, you know, after the accident happened and you could tell he was killed someplace up in this area. He had a wild party or something and he got killed. If I see son, I'll have to ask him what his name was.
Yeah.
But, anyways, Charles said there was no blood. So that's how he figured out that he was killed before he was put on the track.
I remember my dad talking about that.
Remember that.
So if I see son, I'll have to ask him. He'll probably know what his name is.
Who's his son?
Clayton Jr.
Oh, Clay Jr. you're talking about, okay.
Son Shelver.
So this would have been his uncle, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What all changes at the Bean Soup do you remember? Do you remember when the stage was facing down?
Yeah. Face down and then it faced, or it's facing, I guess it's facing that way now. So it was. I've changed a couple of times. One time they had a kids playground in there too.
Playground right there.
Yeah, I mean, they had slide, they had one of those, call them a merry-go-round or whatever it was. Kids could push it around, you know. That was there. Thing that had a,
I remember the remnants.
they had a, would be a pole up and had a wheel on it and then had chains coming down. You could hang on that so you could go around.
That's what I remember being there. Nothing else but that I remember.
I can remember the slide, if you had something going on there, like maybe a birthday party or something, you'd get bread, wrappers on bread, and wax the slides so it would slide better.
Well, it was wax paper back then,
Yeah,
and that's what they
that's
used.
what you rubbed it on the slide to make it run better.
When did
Well,
that?
now there's things that were at the Bean Soup that you can remember as a kid. Like, were some of the shows and things that they had. You don't remember that? Okay.
Do you remember when the gypsies came with the beans?
Yeah, and they'd go out in the country too, the gypsies would. So they would, I don't know what, but I think Dad said one time he was sewing something for Bruce and his aunt. Well, it must have been wheat, because that was in the fall of the year. And they came there where he was sewing. He took his wallet out of his pocket and put it in the drill box. So he did.
They were noted for stealing bicycles around town.
And then Reinhardt's were gypsies, and they would come during the year. They made baskets, so they did, and they would camp over there at our place down along the creek. And this one time we got a hard rain, and rain started, the creek started coming up in the lake, so they came up and they stayed that night in the barn. So they did. And the one year I had I bet they call it a stone bruise on my heel. It was swelled, so it was. And Reinhardt said to my dad, he says, go down to the barn and get some fresh Commodore, put it on a bandage and put it on his heel. Tomorrow morning that thing was,
It was healed up.
no, it wasn't healed up,
Oh.
but it was swelled out to a head, and they jagged it with a darning needle, and boy, that pus and stuff that came out of that.
Now, the first bean soup, was it on your farm?
Yeah,
Down like in the meadow over along those?
over towards the hill.
Okay.
The first public one or the first?
First public one.
Okay, so that would have been 1891.
Gil Goss was telling me about that, and
Okay.
he was there. I wasn't. But Boyd Dipper, that picture that he painted, you know, the first picture, bean soup, he'd sit over there in the field and say he would.
Get the authenticness of it. That's neat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that painting.
Well, the original one, I think, burned in the,
We have one.
yeah, but one of the ones that Sam Bub had, didn't burn when the factory burned. It was in his office. So there was a big one he had in his office that burned.
Now we have a reproduction of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as Lowell, do you know much about Lowell? A little bit of history?
There's a mill there.
There was a mill?
There's a mill.
Where was it located, Joe?
Across the road from where well, Kirby Bub lives out there, but where that house is, it was across the road, cement. So it was a water wheel mill. I don't know
Was
if they
it-
ever ran it on a gas engine or not.
What did you say they ran it on water?
Yeah.
Oh.
The dam was up there, right above the road, or the bridge where it goes down what they call Stull Road now.
Yeah.
The dam was in there, and the race went down, well, then there was a bridge across the race, and then it went down through and down there to the water wheel. Claire White, or Claire? They always called him Shorty, I think his name was Claire. I think he was about the last one that ran the mill there.
Oh, is that the Claire Wagner that I would remember?
Might have been.
Where did he live? Over at Bannerville?
I don't know if he ever lived over there, but, was it Claire?
Yeah, now there was a Charles. Maybe I'm thinking of Charles.
His son Charles, yeah. He was married to Gail Peters, Gail Brininger, she was, and he died fairly young, so he did. And trying to think of any of the other children offhand, I can't. And he also farmed that farm there too, I mean, along with running a mill. There's a post office there.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was.
Well, what area in Prize Lowell? Just right there where the mill was, pretty much, or?
Well, that plus maybe out there where Jim Steely lived, where Prairie Wright lived.
Oh, okay,
And
over
then-
that way.
And then you get out the other way there at, there used to be, I guess there's still two houses there, and then up where Claire Goss lived, over where Clarence lived, where Mark
Yeah.
lives there now.
So there wasn't too much in Lowell then?
No,
Was the post office part of a house?
no, it was in Bill.
In the mill? The post office was in the mill?
Oh, well, that's the first I knew that.
Okay. And that closed whenever it joined with McClure. All the post offices in the
Yeah,
township.
that one, there was one at Cross Grove,
I
so
remember
there
that.
was. That was in the
In
store.
Bannerville.
Bannerville.
I think there was a
Belltown.
post office,
And
yeah.
then there's up at Belltown. And then from down there where Paul Wagner lives, school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
From there down to where that place and up, and then it came in all the way up to where Clarence Gosses lived back during World War II. They had their own telephone line.
Lowell did.
Now
Oh, the
the people there, well, the Wagners and Nelton Falk, they were fellows that
were they on their own party line or?
they had their own line, period. It wasn't hooked up to,
No public line.
So they could only call themselves.
yeah, and they had numbers, well, ring numbers. It was like
We remember them.
Wagner's, whoever lived there where Paul lives now. They was on, and then down there for the next Wagner, went over to Les Hughes, then went up through, and there was Solomon Wagner, and then Curtin Falk, Jacob Bakers, Clarence Gosses. So they were on that, so they were.
What about the village of Fairview, or what people know as Weederville now?
About like it is.
About like it
Yeah,
is.
there's some more houses there now, but
Not too many businesses though.
well, there was a business there one time. Frank Wheeler had a store there. We would hunt. Me and Donald Pine and Gerald and Jack Knapp. And sometimes Kenneth Wagner, sometimes Dick Clemmer, they all depended. You'd have 5. We would hunt from over there at where you live. We would hunt all the way over there. So we would, and then hunt home, and we'd have to stop in at Frankie's and get something to eat and drink.
I don't, that was open yet when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I can remember my dad, had calendars when he had the insurance business. And they were in a roll about that big around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember
And of course, we drove around, stuck them in mailboxes. And I can remember going along with him.
Yeah.
And we'd stop over there to that store, and he got me an ice cream sandwich. That was quite a treat back then.
And there at the Fairview Schoolhouse, my dad was school director, and the school directors visited the schools.
Okay.
And this one afternoon, he went over there and he took me along. And teacher set me in the back seat, which he shouldn't have done. And I wiggled front too far. It went down. I can still remember that.
Was the schoolhouse up there where the people still live in,
Yeah,
there in
there
the corner?
were
Clingers live there.
Yeah,
Robert Klinger Jr.
yeah, I thought that was the schoolhouse.
Then they got their water, Carl Klein told me this, Sam's lived back in there someplace. They got their water down there. At that time, there was a man by the name of Alec Trishter lived there.
On the next in the next house down the road there.
Yeah, down there where Sizers lived.
Yeah, okay.
There
I
was a
can remember that
There was a
well house there.
Well, there was a spring there, and there's where they got
spring
their
house.
water. And somehow, all the boys, they carried the water, and them and Alec got in a dispute about something, and he said that they weren't allowed to get the water there anymore. So Carl said that all the boys went down and peed in the spring.
Well, that made it better.
Purified it.
Who was the teacher when you were there? At Fairview School.
I'd have to think. She joined, when they closed it, then she went over here. I
Okay.
can't think of what her name was anymore.
I don't know either who it would have been.
Probably the last one they had there, and I don't know. So it was. And you had, well, there was other schoolhouses over through the country.
Didn't you tell me at one time there was a schoolhouse where Punch Wagner's built there?
I hunted through my stuff. I can't find a dang map book. I called Jim. I thought, well, he took some of the stuff. Yeah, I thought maybe he does not have it either. So it's in the house someplace. If I can't find it, we'll have to go out to Terry because Terry had seen it and he wanted one and I bought him one,
What did you buy?
a map book.
What year was that map book made?
Well, Bill Matter made a reproduction of it.
But it was after this map book?
Mm-hmm.
The one I had at your house that night? I had this map book at your house. Remember I brought it over?
This one here.
Yeah, he has a copy of this area out of
Okay,
there.
no, this one was different. This one was different. This one had the township, it had Spring Township, Beaver Township, had all the townships and boroughs and
All
in
in one
Snyder
map.
County and the Brown. Oh,
Well, that's what this comes out of. Remember I brought it over and showed you that one night?
yeah, well, I had it.
But you said you hadn't seen that one before. That was 18...
That was one, but this
no,
one that Bill had,
1868.
I don't know, Bill had reproduced this book. So he did.
Well, that
And-
would have been after this, though. And there's no school located there on any of these. Remember I showed you your farm?
Yeah.
Because it was on the road was on the back side of your house?
But
But he's always told me there was one there
I'll
at the end
have
of
to,
his
I'll go out
property.
to Terry someday when it's raining. Terry will be around, so, and see if he still has it. It's in the house someplace, this book, so it is. And after I bought this one from Terry, for Terry, I said something to Bill one day, and he said he didn't have any more. He sold all he had. So, he said maybe he ought to reproduce them again, but I don't know if he did or not.
But that showed that school on there?
Yeah, sure.
What was it called, do you know?
No. It might have been called Kaylee. I don't know because Kaylee's owned the place where we have. I don't know.
Do you remember, was there a needles company that sold needles? Or was it,
Yeah, they made, I don't know if they made them, but they sold needles. And what's his name? Jeff Schauber had some of them. I know. They made soap.
so that was all at the factory,
Yeah, there were.
yellow apartment building?
Yeah, but there was two other buildings there at that time too. Yeah.
So what positive or even negative changes have come to McClure in your lifetime?
McClure became a borough. So it did. Streets got paved. I can remember when they were all dirt. So they were.
When did the sewer come into town?
I was married then already. So it would have been in the 50s, probably 60s.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was, and at that time it was put in with this terracotta pipe, which you don't use anymore, and well, they've been replacing a lot of it, where it's collapsed and the like. So they have.